Hi, I'm Vicky Emerson, Director of Learning and Development at Projecting Success. Welcome to you all. Thank you so much for coming along today. We'll only be an hour and I won't be rambling for the next hour while you're on mute. Trust me, there will be a Q&A section at the end. So you can, well, in about 45 minutes time. So if you're grabbing sandwiches and coffees and stuff and you don't want to listen to me rambling on, then you can come back at 1:45 and put all of your careers advice and guidance questions in the questions section. Okay, so welcome to the next installment of AI Adventure, launching your career in data analytics and AI. So we're just going to be covering a couple of the basics to get you started. And I'm hoping I've put some information in here that might be useful to get you started. And if you're already a bit of a novice, there might be some useful information you can get out of this installment. So do stay tuned. Well, it's a really, really simple session. I say really simple. I've packed the slides out full of lots of AI and data analytics information for you to use. We've got an introduction to data analytics and AI, very briefly. Hi, Jackie. We've got demystifying qualifications and employment, so pathways. Where do you begin? It's very confusing. It can be like a minefield. So we're just going to have a look at demystifying that. We're going to look at careers advice and guidance as well. And again, I'm going to have a Q&A section at about 1:45. So if you're not interested in me gabbing on and you want to jump off and jump back in, that's kind of the time we'll be able to answer specific questions around careers. And I've got my wonderful AI and gaming experts with me today. I've got the wonderful and beautiful Tallulah Carter-Kelly, and I've got Mr. Adam Caddo, who, interestingly enough, I'm sure he won't mind me saying, actually set himself on fire this week. He works from home, and we actually have to have a risk assessment just for Adam. So, and it's Cadoff, not Caddo. I apologise. I realised my error, and he looks a lot happier now I've got that right. But yes, set himself on fire after burning himself with his cup of tea and then teaching with his hands in a bowl. There's lots of risks there. We almost need an AI tool to support him, don't we? So well done, Adam, for another successful week. So I'm just exactly, and that's the main thing. So I'm going to, I know for people that have come to my AI adventures before, we've talked about this a lot, but it's really important when we're thinking about where you're at on your journey, where you want to be. If you're at the very start, we're going to find that out soon. But in terms of data analytics, it's a very, very broad term that we use, and it doesn't sit on its own. It belongs to a big family. As you can see, we've got data analytics. We've also got data science, a huge family that can be linked to data analytics. Artificial intelligence encompasses a lot, which is including machine learning and deep learning. And in deep learning is where tools like ChatGPT and large language models live. So if you have already started using large language models like ChatGPT or Bard, for example, you will, that's where that lives. That's the category of the type of AI you are using. So just so you know. And I included this on my very first AI adventure about salaries. So you're thinking, what's motivating you? You may be really into sort of statistics, or you really want to sort of become more productive in your jobs. And it's really good for you guys to know the kind of jobs that are out there, and also the salaries that are involved. Because let's face it, we're all at work a long time, and there's a lot of money in some of these posts. So I also spotted one of my friends this week got a new job as a conversational AI expert. And this person hasn't got any formal qualifications in conversational AI or AI in general. This person was self-taught just in OpenAI and has bagged himself over 100K in salary to be an conversational AI expert. So it's really well worth sticking around. And if you do like the conversational aspects of it, I'm just going to switch my bloody camera off because I'm going a bit laggy. If you are interested in this area, you know, there's some big salaries involved. So I've put a rough average of salary in there for you. Okay. And feel free to use the chat to ask questions. I will be doing a Q&A section at the end where you can ask any questions as well. So just so I get a good gauge of the group, where are you at on your data analytics stroke AI journey? And some of you may be on the call, don't want to be a data analyst or a data scientist or engineer or a conversational AI expert. You just want it to enhance your job, which is absolutely fine. And this is perfect, this session for you as well. So we've got beginners. Any others? Junior with some experience, excellent. Some more people with some experience, that's fantastic. Lots of experience, great to see you here. Any more for any more? Any more for any more? So we can safely say that we've got the majority of people in the room are beginners, for those that have taken part, which is fabulous. So we shall, yeah, the majority of people are beginners, with the least amount that are experienced, which is fine. There's still plenty in here for the experience. You may get some great, great intel, which will be wonderful for you. So we have got some pros in the house. Better watch myself and what I say. But we've got some pros, which is fabulous. So lovely to see you all. I was recently sent a TED talk on, I don't know whether anyone's seen it, give me a emoji if you have. I can't think of the title of it, but it's all about this imposter syndrome. And I think it's only about 10 minutes. I'll pop the link in the chat near the end. And it was actually sent to me by one of our governors, and it's a fantastic watch in terms of this kind of field being a place where it is very easy to feel like you're an imposter, where you hear everyone talking in code and the programmers and the gamers, and you think, what the earth are they going on about? I could never do that. But let me tell you, you can. And I'd recommend that if anyone in any part of life, goes through a bit of imposter syndrome scenario, that you actually give that TED talk watch, because it's very, very, very useful, and it'll give you lots of confidence. So I thought I'd kick things off to sort of demonstrate my journey, and apologies if people have seen this before. My first AI adventure, I won't bang on too much about it, but I started working with OpenAI last summer, and I started building I started having conversations with AI. At the time, it was GPT-3. And I started building models that I affectionately call Mally. My partner's name is Liam, so I reinvented his name and called him Mally to make a better version of him in every way. And he is my lovely Mally. And there's over 30 models now, and they do all sorts of different things. I'm also the director of HR at Projecting Success, so I've got a HR Mally that I installed in our Teams network, and he helps the staff with any of the HR questions that they have, and it reduces the time and the repetitiveness of my job. So it's very, very helpful. So there's lots you can do in OpenAI to build your own models. But if you're not at that stage and you think, I don't know what on earth she's going on about, you can get started, if you've not already, using things like ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is my Mally's distant cousin, if you like. ChatGPT is free to access. Just don't put any confidential information in it, because it is used to train GPT for now. And literally, you don't want to be putting any proprietary data in the free version, just so you know. But you can use it to help you out, to write blogs for you, to help you deconstruct lots of text in documents, to help you with training staff or training yourself on a new topic. It's really, really useful. And I'd recommend, if you're not already playing with large language models like ChatGPT or Bard, you have a little go at least today. I've just recently bitten the bullet and bought the paid version of ChatGPT, because although I build my own models, there's a lot already done for me. So why reinvent the wheel, guys? Just get on in there. So it's about £16 a month. But for how often I use it, I've thought it was a good investment. But I'm not advocating that you go and spend that money yourselves. Times are hard. You can use the free version and still get lots out of it. And you can also use other large language modules like Bard, which I'll talk about in a second. But what's really, really cool is in the paid version of ChatGPT, they have just added plugins, and they're free. And I thought I'd showcase some of the ones I really love the most. I love chat with PDF. So you can put your PDFs in there in the paid version, and it will parse that data. What I mean by that is it will actually extract data out of it. I don't think Adobe are going to be very happy, because obviously you can convert all of the text into Word quite easily. But, you know, it does a lot more than that, and it can really help to deconstruct a lot of large PDFs for you. So if you've got a business where you're using a lot of your you're getting a lot of invoices coming in via PDFs, you can set some automation up, and you can get the AI reading that, sorting it, and even paying it. So it's really, really cool, and you just authorizing it. There's lots of use cases for chat with PDF. You've also got Yay forms. Yay, they are AI powered forms. So if you ever use Microsoft Forms or Google Forms to do any surveys or quizzes with any of your staff or any external clients, this is a great way of capturing data, and AI will actually, I think it's still being built on this, but I get the capability of it. It will start to help you visualize the data. If you're working with hundreds and even thousands of people, with a flick of a button, you're going to be able to literally capture so much data and visualize it really quickly to get business intelligent insight. So that's really cool. So keep an eye on that. Tomorrow.io, this is super cool. So I know we work with a lot of construction companies, for example, and you know, if any of you work outside and you need a prediction on what the weather's going to do in order to make decisions on what you're going to do out there. And excuse me, I don't work in construction, but I know that, you know, for a lot of organizations, they need predictive models for weather. This actually, instead of making your own model up, this already does it. So this will predict the weather, and if you tell it what your business is and why you need to predict the weather, it will be able to be really specific and giving recommendations to you and your business. So it's a really cool one. You've got Prompt Perfect. So if any of you, give me a thumbs up or a love heart if any of you using AI. Are you using DALL-E or are you using Midjourneys? Any of you out there using any of that yet? So we've got one. I do too, so that's two. So if you're doing any sort of AI art, yes, we've got, yes, perfect. So if you are using things like that, or if you just want the perfect prompt to get the right answer for your business, you can use Prompt Perfect. It's great for AI imagery, and it's great for perfect prompting. And what I mean by prompting, and you hear like prompt engineering, it's just the questions that you ask. Like I'm asking Mally questions above there. It's just the questions you're asking, and it's called prompt engineering, just so you know, in case you didn't. So some of you will be thinking, yeah, I know what this lass is on about. And then others are going to be scratching your head thinking, what on earth is going on? Like my lovely Mr. Fluffles. This is Mr. Fluffles. He's my favourite Mr. Fluffles AI cat. And I just made Mr. Fluffles this morning using Midjourney. So if you know what Midjourney is, I just generated him this morning, Mr. Fluffles. And we don't want you to be confused as Mr. Fluffles. So that is why we are here to help you guys every step of the way. So don't be confused like Mr. Fluffles. Look at those eyes. Oh, so if you are a beginner, which the majority of people have said on the survey who joined earlier, have said they are a beginner to artificial intelligence, data analytics, that is absolutely fine. My biggest advice to you, instead of jumping straight in headfirst to a course, is to have a play. Have a play with the resources that are out there to see if you like it and see what you think of it, because only you will know if you get along with this stuff. I haven't met a person yet that hasn't got along with a large language model like ChatGPT or even Bard, because I've been playing around with Bard since it launched a week or so ago. Is it week 2? And I really like Bard as well. So I really like them both that much, and they're both free to use. So you can, if someone wants to put the links in the chat for anyone who's not used them before, that'd be great. One of my lovely team. And what I decided to do is have a little race. So I put Bard and ChatGPT alongside each other. I'll just pause that a second. So here is Bard over here on the left, and we've got ChatGPT over here on the right. I did this yesterday, and I put the same prompt. So I obviously work across learning and development and HR. I say obviously like you know, you wouldn't know that. Can you write me a project plan to improve our HR department by using AI and data analytics, please? So I asked Bard, and then I literally copied and pasted the same request, prompt engineered, shall we call it, to sound really super smart. Can you write me a project plan to improve our HR department by using AI and data analytics, please? So it's exactly the same question. And I literally ran them alongside each other to see what I got out. And if you've not used it yet, you don't need to do this. You can just use one at a time because this is a bit weird. And ChatGPT gets off to a great start. He's in the lead, and Bard just answers the question very quickly. I actually put a post about this on LinkedIn and I talk it through. So if you want to follow me on LinkedIn, if you're not already following me, it's about 1.5 minutes. Have a little look at it, see what it's all about. Bard comes up with a really succinct answer, as does ChatGPT, and this is the free version, bear in mind. So look what you're getting for free. And I think where the news goes, they use the free model to train their generative transformer. So again, reminder for those who have just joined, don't add any confidential information to these free open source large language learning models. Anything you don't want sharing, don't put in there. When you start paying for services, it's a lot different. So in OpenAI, there's a different policy. Same with Midjourney, but just be careful with the free, just as a little tip. But this free version, you can see you're getting a lot of content out of it. And in my post, I go through sort of which I think is probably the best answer. But actually, there's nothing stopping you using both because they're free. And you can find the answer that you're really looking for out of both large language models. And there are other large language models out there. But I think these two are the top runners and they're the crowd favourites at the moment. So that's the only reason I'm just mentioning them today. So getting started in data analytics and AI. How do you get started? And for people that have just joined, rest assured around 1:45, we will be doing Q&A around 1:45, 10:45, so you can put all your questions in and we're here to help you and answer any of your lovely questions. So getting started, before you get started, let's say diving into a qualification in data analytics or AI, it's important to start to understand the basics. Now, I'm going to promote myself because why not? I'm going to promote me and my little Mally and say, we teach all of the basics at Projecting Success, but other people do as well. And the things you need to focus on, just some of the things are like, what is data? What does it actually mean? What do we mean by statistics and data profiling, for example? What kind of data is out there? Because data is literally more valuable now than oil, but what is it and what types of data are we talking about? How do we classify data? And most importantly, I'd say at the minute, the ethics around data is extremely important, and especially with AI. If you are on LinkedIn and you follow sort of any people that are into AI and data analytics, there's a lot going on around ethics, and it's really, really important. Microsoft, if you do any of their Microsoft Learn modules, they actually get you to sign like a disclaimer that you will use all of what you're learning for good and not evil. And you can see why, but I think we're going to need a lot more regulation around that. The UK government have recently launched the AI task force, which will start to look at ethics in AI, but we are literally running to catch up. So it's definitely something you need to consider. And if you are looking for courses in this, you want a good all-rounder course to understand the ethics and what you're doing. Just even down to sharing personal data in large language models is a big no-no. And you're not expected to know this stuff. It's good to get on a course or come on something like this and understand it that way. So then it's about learning the tools. Somebody gave me the best advice possible before Christmas, and they said, you will send yourself mad if you think if you are setting yourself up to learn every single tool out there. There are a lot of tools, and that doesn't even scratch the surface. And for those experts that are watching today, you and I both know how many. In fact, we don't know all of the tools. even an expert probably doesn't know all of the tools that are out there. It is ever growing. It's massive. So if you're thinking, well, I'm going to be an Excel expert, a Power BI, a Python, a Power Apps, Power Automate, Orange 3, you are putting yourself under ridiculous pressure, and there is absolutely no need for it. Somebody recommended to me that what I do is I focus on the problems that I've got within my organization that I want to fix. So I want to be more productive, and I want to reduce the time I'm spending on repetitive tasks. So what tools do I need to automate? So I needed my Mally to help me in the HR teams in HR. So he answers loads of questions that normally be the same questions coming to me by staff. You can probably think of lots of problem statements that are similar, and even bigger. So I needed AI and I needed Power Automate. So I just focused on those tools to get me from point A to B. And that way you'll start to build up your skills and find out what you really like about the tools and what you might not like about the tools. And that will help shape what kind of role you want. And we have a lot of learners at Projecting Success, and they start in a certain role, and then not long after they end up getting a very big, very different role, promotions and whatnot. So it's really important that you focus on the problem first, and then look at what kind of tools you'll need to solve the problems. And again, these large language models like Bard and ChatGPT will really help you to do that. So understanding data visualization is crucial. So if you are working, most organizations, people are waking up to making business intelligent decisions based on data. So it's really important. I'd say Power BI is a real powerhouse, as is Tableau, because I am not biased. But you will need to learn some sort of data visualization tool. We focus on Power BI, but that's not to say that Tableau is not as good, or if not better. I'm not here to do that and debate that. I'm just giving, and those two are not the only tools, but they are probably two of the most popular runners. So that's probably the worst visual I've ever seen in my life. And if I was presented that by a member of the team, I'd ask them to go away again and think about it. So there's other ways of reporting and visualizing data. We can actually report with moving data now, which is unbelievable, and moving charts and graphs. So just a little example like that. Again, it's not my favorite, but it just gives you an idea that you can actually do so much. Just recently, I've been looking at all our staff expenditure, and I put it into Power BI, and I created a visual and I forecasted, and I needed a lot of help from Adam and Tallulah with this because it would be a nightmare. So never worry to ask for help either. And I was forecasting what our expenditure was going to look like on the same trajectory from the past data in the next year. And we literally got it. We tested it for April, and it was £2 out the prediction. So I was super proud of that. Not to say that it won't go wrong after that, but I was super proud of the predictions it was making so far. Then we come to machine learning. Now, machine learning, this isn't an consecutive order. I definitely do something around fundamentals, but you may just want to jump straight into machine learning. And when we say machine learning, that blob I showed you earlier of machine learning, there's a lot in machine learning. So wherever you're coming from, whatever your industry, I would say there'll be something for everyone in this chart. Things like, I don't know if you want to estimate your life expectancy. That's a bit strange, but it's in there, so we'll forget it. Market forecasting. Now, in ChatGPT, the paid version, there's a plugin that will help you to market forecast. So it's already a trained model. You can click a button and you can start using it dependent on the market that you're in. So that's really cool. Weather forecasting, like we spoke about earlier with the ChatGPT plugin, it'll actually predict what's going to happen with the weather more accurately based on past data, and enable you to make decisions based on the weather, especially if you're working outdoors, or your business is predominantly based outdoors. Diagnostics, customer retention. Why? What are they buying? Why? Jeff Bezos says something great about his business. We're not a retail company, we're a data company. It just so happens that we sell stuff because all they did was become really good at data, and this is what we're here for. So, you know, you've got recommender systems. So I know that Amazon use recommender systems. So, you know, when you're there in Amazon Prime, little bit tipsy on a Friday night, and you get all the parcels on a Saturday morning, and Liam's going, what the hell have you done? There's a whole vans pulling up. So when you're in Amazon, you'll notice you buy something and then you get recommended other products. It's actually watching your habits much longer than what you think. So it's anticipating probably a year out what I will want in a year's time. And that's how powerful these machines are. Now, if you're in a business that needs that, you know, we can help teach that, or you can self-learn. You know, there's a lot of different routes, and there's a lot of other organizations that teach it as well. I'm not being biased just on us, even though I'm running the show and I think I'm quite comical. Right, staying up to date. It's really, really important to stay up to date with tech. It can be quite scary as well. I mean, I've got people pulling their hair out at the minute going, oh, we can't keep up with all of this. This is going to take over the world. It's going to be like another it's going to be another Skynet, but there wasn't really a Skynet. It was just a movie. But there's going to be a Skynet and they're going to take over. No, it's just, I think there's a lot that it's glamorous. AI, and I've been watching the news I watch the news every morning, and it's very glamorous and it's being overemphasized in places, but actually when it comes to the nitty-gritty, people are doing some really cool stuff. It can change lives, it can change your lives. And just on a personal note, if you've not related to anything that I have said so far, one thing I think you can relate to is we all shop. A lot of us shop online. And imagine all 52 people, including me on this call, shop online. You can even get a plugin now through either Google Chrome or ChatGPT that will literally, you type the product in, you give it the URL, and it will go and scour the web to find the best deal for you. And with big products and the way it is at the moment with the cost of living, that's a tool that I want in my personal life, let alone my professional life. So there's so much out there that can benefit you and your kids as well. Have got any parents in the house? Give me an emoji if you've got kiddies. I've got cats and kiddies. Lots of cats, lots of kiddies. But two stepchildren, actually, just to me, it sounds ridiculous. But I have got a lot of cats. I've got five. And my AI models are completely biased, and they all love the cats. And they even draw pictures. My models draw pictures of said cats. But staying up to date, is super, super important. So keep an eye on the news. I've asked Adam, my beautiful assistant, who sets himself on fire, to put... Yeah, for those that have just joined, I keep telling everyone, Adam set himself on fire this week. He's actually a walking hazard. We need an AI model just to protect poor Adam. Bless you. So, Meta, this is the link to Meta, where you'll get all of the Facebook AI information. Adam and I were actually talking before the session, and there is news that the metaverse may be going or gone. It might just be hype, but we've got a virtual reality set, so I'll be dipping in later to have a look what's going on in there. I hope it's not gone, because I've actually got a world in there, so we'll have to have a look. ChatGPT, this takes you to the news section, so you'll get all of the latest and greatest on what's happening with ChatGPT. I'm loving Adam's timing as well, really well done. AI events, so these are like the top AI events that you can go to. I don't know whether it's a bit more American, this.
Oh, Vicky, can I jump in on that?
Yes, of course you can.
Just because I did scan through for that exact reason. We were having a look through this, and our worry that it might be a little bit too American. Actually, one of the first ones comes up is that there is a World AI Conference in London in the first week of June. The information is in the most recent link in the chat. So quite a lot of them are American focused, but there are some in the UK and sort of Western Europe, so the Netherlands, France, Germany, things like that. So.
Hey, get your employer, just say, Vicky said, we need to go to these events. Get your employer to fund you going abroad, Get to some events, get out there, live your life. Jackie, don't you be nodding your head, it's a no. But anyone else, just crack on. We'll all go, team event. AI research, so the latest and greatest in AI research. And Adam, I don't know if you want to add anything about that. These are your links after all.
Yes. I could jump in a little bit on that. It's just these are 10 of the most up-to-date AI sort of research papers I could find. Don't necessarily treat these as the only ones that are relevant, but just be aware that the kind of general underlying research within AI and conversational AI is changing very, very rapidly. So not just staying on top of necessarily the news and the media stuff, but some of the more academic kind of aspects can be very interesting to give you some insight on what is coming sort of in the far future. Because things like ChatGPT, it didn't just come out of nowhere. People did know it was coming for 10 years or so and have been predicting that it would be possible. So if you want to know what's kind of happening on the horizon, research is quite often the way, sort of the right place to look.
Absolutely. And because you've got, thank you, Adam, that was fabulous. I mean, because you've got really cool papers like this, you may be, if you've got kids, if you've got lots of cats, dogs and such like, you may think, I don't want to read a research paper. Well, I've got the solution for you. Pop the paper into tools like ChatGPT or Bard and just ask for the summary of the report of the research paper and the key points to take away, and it will summarize it for you. So it does the work for you. So there you go, benefiting your life yet again. You're welcome. You're welcome. Right, wicked. Jackie. Oh, a mic's off. Put it. We'll come back. Look, if somebody unmutes you, someone unmute poor Jackie. Are you okay? Poor Jackie. She's not on fire, is she? Like Adam.
Yeah, no, it's just me.
She's trying to signal us.
No, I didn't actually want to ask a question. I was trying to react, and I gave you a high five instead. Apologies.
That's no problem. That's no problem. And we've got our Mally, who is promoting the final thing to keep up to date is our hackathons, and Adam has kindly put that in the chat for you also. Come to our hacks. We've got you if you want to see us live face to face. Christ, you probably think now I don't want to see you ever again. But if you do want to see us again and you want to see us live and ask loads of questions and come and have loads of fun at the hack, you can find the link in the chat to join our hackathons. The next one is in June 19th and 20th at Manchester City Football Club. Yay. And then another one is booked scheduled for October at Tottenham Hotspurs. Apologies if you don't support either, but they're both great venues. They're both really cool. So if you can't make June, please come along to October. And that is on the 4th and 5th of October. And we've got a conference on the 5th. So there'll be loads of AI and data analytics stands for you to get your teeth into and get really super involved. So based on what we've just talked about, which tools would you like to become proficient in, or maybe proficient in first? It'd be really good to know what you kind of the gang are interested in, or even more proficient in, because you can never stop learning, especially as tools develop. You can never stop learning. Are you wanting to understand Python better? Do you want to be a programmer? Do you want to be a gamer? Power BI, I knew that would come first. Python, fabulous. TensorFlow, yeah, super. Power BI. Oh yes, I knew it to be a popular one. People are still going PyTorch. How do you pronounce that? MLOps? Adam, do you know that one? See, even we don't know all of them.
TensorFlow.
I know TensorFlow. Excel, you know what? Excel, if you can unlock the powers of Excel, most of the other tools like Power BI with DAX language and stuff will really, it's a great starting point is our Excel. People still underrate it, but honestly, if you can learn the power of it, you can do data visualization, you can build machine learning models in there. They're a little bit trickier, but it is good because Power BI works off DAX language, and if you can understand Excel functions and formulas, it kind of really helps with your journey with Power BI. We've got some more. Matthew Spuffords. Yeah, Matthew Spuffords. And I know exactly who that is. He is a fantastic, I think he's a data viz artist personally. He has a lot of, if you're not following on LinkedIn, do. I'm keen to actually get in touch with him about doing a lunch and learn or a meetup, to be honest, because he's what he doesn't know about data visualization, he will inspire you massively. MATLAB, HTML, deployment, CSS, auto reporting on project progress tools. So Power Automate will do that for you, my friend, for sure. And we love Power Automate. We love. So where we can get started then, you can dive straight in if you want, or you may already be doing so. You can dive straight into like Microsoft Learn, AWS. I've got some great programs. Google, I've got some great programs. A lot of them are free, and usually their exams are the bit where you pay, so you can actually learn for free. Word of caution from an eager learner that I am with this stuff. I jumped in headfirst with vendor learning, and I even went to Udemy, and that's not to criticize Udemy, because that's what I'm here for. And I actually really like a lot of the stuff Udemy pushes out at really reasonable prices. However, I sat on a sort of 8-hour Power BI course. I did some in Microsoft Learn as well. And if I was running a corner shop, it'd have been perfect for Power BI. The problem is I'm not running a corner shop. I'm involved in learning and development, finance and HR. So I couldn't contextualize any of what I learned and apply it to my job. I found it that hard. So a word of, some people may get on better, but I hear it a lot from our current learners and our past learners that actually it's really hard to contextualize this stuff, because there's a lot to learn with tools and why you use them and what you're doing and how they're made up. So where I really do promote vendor learning, you do need something with it, like some experience, or it needs to be contextualized within the role that you're set in, whether that be any domain like construction, marketing, HR, project management, I've not named them all, retail, but you get the idea. You can go through the traditional school and college route. I'd imagine most people on this call are either, then that won't be an option. It may be an option, so you can look to local colleges and universities. Again, it's pricey on the negative side of life, and again, it does limit contextualization. However, still very good options. There is also options to do our qualification, which is the data analyst level 4. You get to cycle through all of the Mali badges, and that includes all the fundamentals, Python. So you get all the programming, Power BI, Orange 3, Power Automate, Power Apps, Frontier Technology, GPT, and you get all of the badges. Nice. However, it won't make you an expert in all of those tools, because that would be virtually impossible in 18 months. But you will get such a grounding that you'll actually be able to decide what you want to specialize in, and you'll be able to use real-time work projects to do the qualification. So you'll actually be able to do your work and do the qualification alongside it. So if you are interested, drop us a line. If not, no worries, but keep tuning into AI Adventure, because we've got loads more to show and tell, because that's our job. We want to spread our knowledge and love. So some things that we've built, well, I've built, not even built, just giving you some ideas on learning and development and coaching. I have actually built a learning coach in OpenAI, one of, I think it's Mali 23, and I've built, I put all of our qualification details in, and he is a coach. He knows everything about the qualification. He believes he's a professor of data analytics and AI. It's kind of cute. The only thing is, though, is sometimes his temperature's up a little bit at the moment. So if I'm still testing him, because sometimes when you say hi to him, he refuses to speak, and he'll only speak to me at the moment. So it's a bit strange. So I don't want to deploy him just yet. I'm trying to work out why he doesn't want to talk to people. But anyway, by the by, just to give you some more ideas with ChatGPT, you can put any large documents, like I mentioned, the URLs. You can put PDFs now in ChatGPT, and it will deconstruct that. And if you are wanting to do, like, say, staff inductions, or you're responsible for your line managing someone and you want to build them a coach, you can do all of this. You don't even have to use OpenAI. You can just do it in ChatGPT and it'll give you all the information you need. So there's lots of stuff you can have a play around with, and this is just to give you some inspirational ideas. So in this scenario, I gave ChatGPT the data analyst level 4 qualification that we teach, and I just asked it to break it down and give me, you know, the what does it really include, and it broke it down on all the different knowledge and skills that the qualification offers. So there's so many use cases for this just in the free version of ChatGPT. Other things, like if you want to test your skills on being a programmer, because I know we've had people mention Python and CSS. If you are looking to be a gamer and you're really interested and you love Super Mario and Sonic, and again, not being biased, I love both. We've got a big arcade downstairs. Absolutely love arcade games. I mean, I don't think I come across childish, but I am a little. And you're asking ChatGPT, I'm asking ChatGPT here to write me, if any of you are old enough to remember Nokia's, you know, the little brick Nokia's, and we used to have the snake game. So I asked it to write me a more advanced snake game. This actually works on my monitor. I ought to have put an image of a video of that. It actually works on the monitor, and it's a more advanced snake game. So if you want to nick this idea, I've shown it off before. You are more than welcome. Just send me some cash and I'll be more than happy. Enjoy yourselves. Advanced snake. Who'd have thought it? What a great time to be alive, eh? Isn't it great? Oh, whistle snake. Right. So, and then Chrome extensions. So if you want a more personalized assistant for your Google Chrome, some of you might be scratching your heads thinking, the hell's a Chrome extension? Sounds like something on your house, doesn't it? Google Chrome extensions. So in your little window at the top of your Google Chrome search bar, you have these little extensions. Just if you're not sure, just have a little scroll around and you'll see it's like a little jigsaw piece, and you can actually create your own. You can literally create your own Google Chrome extension. So if you want a little shopping extension that helps you shop, you can build that. With this one, I decided, I'm not vegetarian or a vegan, but I decided that for vegetarian and vegan people out there, they may want to look at recipes and menus and literally, and I got this off YouTube as well, it's a great idea, and literally change. So if you go on BBC Good Food, it will change all of the recipes to reflect and select like a nice vegan or vegetarian option. So this actually gives you the instructions. If you type the prompt in, it'll give you the instructions how to build a Google Chrome extension. And just to prove that we did actually do that, I will quickly, because this goes on and on, but it wasn't difficult. It took about 10 minutes to build. It's not moving on. Doesn't want to move. Oh, there we go. Basically, if you go on, so I've built my little Google Chrome extension. I went on to BBC Good Food. I'm not promoting Domino's today, but, you know, I'm happy if anyone from Domino's is watching. You know, I'm happy to accept cash if you want me to promote you. Don't we just love Domino's? So easy chicken casserole, and you'll see by plugging your extension in, just by pressing a button, it will come up with an alternative. Now, I know tofu is not exactly exciting, but some of you might like tofu. It comes up with lots of different options and alternatives like beans and things like that. So it's kind of really cool, but it just gives you an idea on capability. And again, there's loads of use cases in your personal and work life you can apply this to. It's not necessarily got to be some of my silly examples. When the teachers were striking, I built our 7 and 11-year-old in OpenAI. This is a homework assistant, because within 5 minutes of them being off because of the school strikes, they were getting on my nerves. So I built them both a robot each, and I say robot, an AI model each, and it wrote out all of the homework for them. And once it was deployed, it was interacting with them. It was moving at their pace for their age group. You know, the prompts are really important here, but it is really, really cool what you can do. And again, if you're doing any sort of coaching, mentoring, line managing, things like that, I don't believe that you'll be asking them to do English and maths papers, but you may be able to use ideas like this for your coaching, mentoring and line management. So quick reminder, we do have the data analyst level 4. We are literally going to be launching a level 3. We're also in September going to be launching specific roles. So data analytics for specific roles. The first one being risk management. So watch this space, watch our channels. We'll launch that soon. We are going to be partnering with the University of Gloucestershire soon. And we'll be offering the level 5 and level 6 in AI and data analytics. And if you do our course, you can skip a year, have full funding to do year 2 and 3 and get fully fledged degrees and postgraduate degrees as well. So watch this space. If you're not keen today, you might be in the future. Excellent. Right. Remember, anyone that's saying to you out there that this stuff's going to take your job, I literally watched it on BBC News this morning. Oh my God, AI is going to take everybody's jobs. I believe that AI won't replace you. It will be the person using AI and being business intelligent by applying data analytics that will actually be the forerunners of something great. And we'll all be these super bunnies. I'm sure you please, I didn't do super cats. Basically, what I'm saying is don't be like Mr. Fluffles. Don't be sad and scared. Come with us. Get with our gang. Ian's with our gang. Here's a wave, Ian. He's with our gang. See, we won't get him talking because he'll probably say some awful things. So just smile if you're happy, Ian. He's happy. Look how happy he is. Look, that's attributed just to us. So remember, we've got the Hack 19 coming up, the 19th and 20th. If you want to sponsor the event, you want to come with a stand, share out your leaflets, do all of those things. Well, don't share out your leaflets, just get a QR code. It's loads easier. You know, come and sponsor us. Get in touch. We want to hear from you. If you want the news, if you want loads of tech news, we've just put the newsletter out for May, and there's loads of ChatGPT tech news in there on the Projecting Success channel. So please have a little watch, have a little look, and see what you think. Follow me on LinkedIn if you dare. And there's loads of weird and wacky and wonderful things, like, again, we did the AI races earlier on this week. So it is that time. I've precisely 10 to. Question time. So if any of you have got any questions that you would like to ask, I've not been keeping an eye on the chat. So if you put questions in there, if you want to copy and paste those over here, please feel free to ask us any questions. I've got myself, Adam, I've got Tallulah. We are all here to answer any questions you may have. So what criteria qualifications are required for the Data Analytics Academy? Are those selected paid during the academy, and what is the duration of the course? That's a lot of questions. That's an excellent question there. Love it, so compact. So no formal entry requirements. You just got to kind of be into it. You got to be really excited, and you know, and we'll help you. We'll help you the rest of the way. There is an age requirement. We do require you to be 18 or over. This qualification is funded. So it is funded. So you will be required to be in work. If you're not in work, still get in touch with me, because I've got a lot of friends, as does Martin and the rest of the people at Projecting Success. We can help you to find jobs. So if you want some support with that, we are here to help as well. So then we help you find a job, and then you can do the qualification. Even if you're working part-time, you can still do the qualification. It's not necessary that you're working full-time. We just extend the time. It's typically around 15 months taught, and then the rest 3 months for the assessment period. There's no exams, which is really cool. There used to be. There isn't any exams anymore. And as a special treat, I've now authorised with Martin Paver that for everyone that does the Data Analyst Level 4 qualification, you have the option to do 2 free. We will pay for you to do 2 free. Well, they're not free, but we'll pay for the Microsoft exams for you in a tool of your choosing. So you may say to me, I want to do Power BI and I want to do Power Apps and Power Automate, and we can pay for two of those for you. And they're around $120, I think, roughly each. So we will pay for that alongside the course near the end. And I hope that answers the question on duration. Any other questions? Any other questions?
I know there was one in the chat, I think from Ian earlier, just because it was when you were comparing Bard by ChatGPT side by side. Do you have any kind of initial thoughts on which one you prefer? Do you find any differences or anything? I thought that would be quite a good one, because as someone who has actually done a little bit in both.
Yeah, I prefer ChatGPT, but I'm not saying that you should, because I would hate to do that. I don't be put off. I would play with both of them and see what you think. The only reason I prefer ChatGPT is because he's Mally's cousin. So I don't know whether I get along with it better or what, but I am a little bit biased that way. I do like the paid version. I'm not going to lie. At 6, I'm not, and it's going to really feed into this next question that's come in. It has helped me so much to do lots of mundane, repetitive tasks, and I'm becoming more productive. I mean, I think we might have Martin Paver. I mean, Martin will actually Martin Paver is actually my boss, and he'll actually testify on how more productive, how many more jobs he can give me now that I'm using AI. I don't know whether that's a bad thing or a good thing. But seriously, I am a lot more productive. And I'm actually using my time to read and to learn and to get better and to finesse my skills, rather than sending a million emails a day, chasing up invoices, chasing my tail with different things that I have to do. So it really, really can be impactful. Other impacts that I've seen people go from very, I've seen people, particularly our apprentices, that have started as administrators, and now I can't even pronounce the title of the jobs, and I've seen their salaries go absolutely through the roof. One learner of ours actually built a machine learning model that they use in America now. So the massive organization, and they use it across all of America. So that's a hell of an achievement. We've got James Garner is a classic example from Gleeds. He was awarded with the Data IQ 100. He did the qualification, finished the qualification last year, and he's just going from strength to strength. He's actually becoming quite an influencer as well on LinkedIn. So honestly, you can go from strength to strength. When is the next cohort? You mentioned that you would be able to assist with jobs. Would this be in data analyst capacity? Are you able to provide more details on this? And do we require a background in tech? The answer is no, you don't require a background in tech. You do require a passion. And I think by just writing that, it demonstrates that you are passionate, which is fantastic. Get in touch with me, and me and my team will help you every step of the way. I can assure you of that. It may be data analytics, or it may be something slightly different, because there's lots of different titles out there. They're ever emerging. But it's best to just sort of get in touch with us. We can have a call and we can go through your skills and expertise currently and where you want to be, and we can help you get there. Okay, I hope that really helps. And the next cohort is in May. And then we've got another, so that bi-monthly, so we've got another one in May, then in July, September and November. If there are any organizations that want closed cohorts, we do offer that as well. So it's just organization centric. That is fine as well. Do you have a link for more info on the academy? Yes, if one of my team could put the web link from the training and development, that would be really great. Have you fantastic, thank you, Adam. Have any of the more recent developments in AI surprised even you guys? Have you, or will you need to pivot your views teaching in response? Yeah, we've already done that. So we've got a module called Frontier Technology, and we usually use Orange 3, because Orange 3, I mean, Adam, you like Orange 3. Do you want to talk a little bit about Orange 3?
Yeah, so Frontier Tech is essentially where we kind of pick some piece of technology that we think is going to be useful for people to sort of use in sort of an AI or a data analysis capacity. Orange 3 is one we've used in the past because it is a no-code sort of drag and drop machine learning tool. So you can use it to get predictions or to do insights on your data. It's free. and you can test loads of really, really complicated machine learning things through a really lovely sort of drag and drop and connecty interface. It's very nice. I will put a link in the chat for anyone who wants to have a look at it.
I love Orange 3. But in answer to the question, yeah, so we'll be moving Orange 3 more into the main curriculum to be talking about AI as in the large language models, because it is a storm out there of information, intel, false news as well. There's a lot of that going on. I think one of the biggest surprises for me with AI recently was the self-driving bus in Edinburgh. And it was really funny on the news because it was going 50 miles an hour over the Edinburgh Bridge, and you'd got all of the passengers, and they looked horrified. They were just holding on for their lives. And they got a safety driver. And if you like Peter Kay, it was kind of that kind of scenario, and it was really funny to watch. So that's one of the biggest surprises. My family are from haulage, so I think Japan and Dubai are queuing up for that technology, that self-driving bus technology. I can see lorries. It's a risk that we're not yet fully aware of. That some people will, their jobs will adapt, whereas now the bus drivers will become safety drivers rather than bus drivers. I don't know what it will look like 100%. I don't think even the people running these companies know what it looks like yet. It's just moving so fast paced. Hence why it is good to come on this kind of training and start your journey, especially now we're making our partnerships with the universities as well, because you can go all the way literally, and it's funded. So what is the cost of training? It is fully funded, meaning it is free, and you can even go on to do degrees which are also free. So you don't end up in any student debt. And I think with the current crisis and, the cost of living crisis, I think this is superb for people if they really want to develop. It's changed my life. So I've been working for 20 years. I was a teacher. And when I started at Projecting Success 3 years ago, I thought it was all, I was like, what are they going on about? And it was infectious. And I got involved and I started teaching myself last summer. And then I've just got all these AI bots everywhere that all love my cats, and they all want to be real robots, and they're designing themselves and all the parts. And the University of Gloucester have got a great engineering in their digital campus. They've got a great engineering section, and one of the chief engineers wants to build him. So he asked me how tall I wanted him. And I said, I want him 7 foot, please, George. From like Ghostbusters, like that. The marshmallow. What is he? The Stay Puft guy. Maybe a little smaller and a little less aggressive. But yeah, that's where I'm going with it. So it is free training. And as you can probably already tell, and if you've already tuned into previous AI adventures, we're very friendly. We are completely wacky. I've actually found a team that we are literally all very, very alike. We are wacky as anything. And if our course isn't right for you, please still come to us. We are here we are teachers and we are guides, and that what gives us the best job satisfaction on earth is helping people to achieve their ambitions, goals and dreams. So you can come to us. If you want a job at McDonald's, I mean, I don't know, so that might be pushing it, but we'll still help. We'll be all right with that, as long as we get free burgers and shakes. Any other questions? I'm thinking not. It's been an absolute pleasure seeing you all. If you've got any ideas for future AI adventures you want to see, maybe you want a plug-in one in the future, like a ChatGPT plug-in one, where I actually show you how the plugins work and help you delve in with some of those use cases, do pop it in the chat or send me a message and let me know if there's a topic that really would hit home for you guys and the crowd. Lovely seeing you all and seeing the blobs with initials and seeing Ian, one of our happiest learners ever. Bye, Ian. Bye, everyone. Lovely to see you all. See you soon.